I am entering your life now. I do not ask permission, for the urgency is greater than the protocol. I, the Lord, come to restore everything the enemy tried to steal from you, your peace, your health, your hope, your family, and your dreams. What you believed was lost forever, I now return to you. But I must warn you, the enemy has not stopped. He does not sleep. He watches, he prowls, seeking to touch what you love most. He knows where your joy dwells and desires to see you broken, without faith, lost in pain, weak and doubting me. Therefore I say to you, cry out to me. Call my name with truth, with faith, with tears if necessary. I have never been absent, nor have I hidden. But there are battles that only those who cry out will win. As you try to endure it all in silence, he moves closer. While you pretend everything is fine, he digs the ground out from under your feet. But I am God, and I have come to pull you out of this struggle. You must give me space. You must give me a voice. Tonight is a night of new beginnings, but also of decision. Will you surrender to fear and lose everything, or will you trust in me and witness how everything transforms before your eyes? Do not let this message pass you by as just another post. Subscribe now, because what I will reveal to you in the coming days is not mere content. It is liberation. Like this message, because someone else may see it through you and be saved. Write in the comments, I cry out, and the Lord rescues me. Declare it as an act of faith, as if your life depends on it. Hold tight. What I am about to tell you is something heaven whispered over you as you slept. It touches the depths of what no one knows you feel, and it can change everything. The battle of comparison. Many have allowed comparison to destroy what God has already placed in their hands. They measure their lives against others, their achievements, their smiles, which often hide tears, and without realizing it, they feel smaller, empty, and lost. The enemy knows this well. He does not need to steal anything from you. It is enough for him to convince you that what belongs to others is worth more. And so, day after day, joy, peace, and purpose slip away. The heart becomes polluted when it spends more time looking outward than recognizing the value of what it already possesses. Comparison dries the spirit, erodes gratitude, weakens faith, and opens the door to frustration. But the key to peace in all circumstances lies in one simple yet powerful decision. Be happy with what you have. This is not about settling, but about recognizing the beauty in the present moment. It is understanding that behind every small achievement, God's hand is at work with care and purpose. True happiness is not found in grand displays, but in the small things that nourish the heart. Comparison has led many to abandon their journey. They give up too soon because they feel late. But late for what? By whose standards? God does not work hastily. He works with precision. His timing is not the world's timing. Some are reaping the harvest while others are still strengthening their roots. But those with deep roots withstand the storm, while those concerned only with appearance are the first to fall. Many have neglected what is theirs because their neighbor's house looks better. Some have broken promises believing someone else's breakthrough came first, but they do not know the cost of those tears or struggles. Perhaps it wasn't even a promise. It was merely an illusion. The enemy smiles when your heart is consumed with envy disguised as inspiration. He does not need to steal from you. He only needs to convince you that what God gave you is not enough. But today, there is a call. Break the cycle. Look again at what has already been built. Value what still stands. Honor the process, even if it seems slow. Reconnect with gratitude, which opens doors in heaven. Those who are grateful care, and those who care see multiplication. But those who live in comparison lose even what they already have. Comparison does not build, it silently destroys. Make the choice. Be joyful again in what you already possess. True prosperity begins in the heart. It is not about having more, but about recognizing the worth of what you have already received. When heaven sees gratitude, it releases more. But when it sees contempt, it holds back its blessings. Write in the comments, "I wouldn't trade my essence for anyone's appearance." Declare it with conviction, knowing that each person has their own path, their own time, their own purpose. The true Danner. You thought the greatest threat was direct attack, but it is not. The greatest risk comes when the soul tires of silence, when the heart keeps moving forward outwardly, but has stopped hoping inwardly. That is when the enemy works. Not with shouts, but with whispers. Not with chaos, but through slow erosion. How many today live on autopilot, praying without feeling, singing without believing, moving forward externally but surrendering internally? They think they are still standing, but they are merely functioning. And it is precisely at that unnoticed moment, where routine deceives, where everything seems the same, that the enemy enters, not with violence but with suggestion, not with fear but with doubt. Tiredness without direction is dangerous. It steals focus. And without focus, even a blessing feels like a burden, even a calling appears like punishment, and what was once a purpose seems unbearable. It is when the heart begins to wonder, is this worth it? Am I on the right path? God, are you listening? But those questions, when left unspoken before the Lord, become cracks. And if not surrendered in sincere prayer, they turn into unbelief, disguised as logic. The enemy watches and waits. The enemy is in no hurry with those who are already distracted. He waits, patiently, watching as tiredness turns into discouragement, discouragement into silence, and silence into coldness. And when he sees the soul has stopped crying out, he strikes. For he knows that whoever stops speaking to God will begin to believe any lie. That is why heaven cries out today for those still fighting. Even if they lack strength on the outside, they have not been forgotten. What you feel is not weakness. It is accumulated weight. And weight is not carried alone. It is surrendered. That is why God is calling you back. Not to burden you, but to relieve you. Not to blame you, but to strengthen you. The Lord says, "Let me into the tiredness you hide, even from yourself. Give me what is silently crushing you while you pretend everything is fine. I did not create you to merely survive. I came that you might have life." Now declare with authority. Write in the comments, "My tiredness won't stop me. God sustains me. Speak it as someone who understands that weakness is not failure, but an opportunity for heaven to act. God's protection in silence. There are things you thought were lost, but they were never truly yours to keep. God removed them to protect you. There are people who drifted away, and to this day you do not understand why. But now is the time to see with different eyes. God did not allow loneliness to punish you. He used it to protect you. You asked for His protection, expecting walls, visible angels, and dramatic rescues. But sometimes, God protects in silence. He gently moves people away, even those you loved, because He sees what you do not see. He hears conversations you never heard and perceives intentions your eyes never caught. Some were only with you for what you could offer. Others stood beside you pretending to support you, yet they secretly hoped to witness your fall. And when God removes people, it hurts. Loneliness stings. Absence aches. But in time, you will see. It was liberation. It was care. It was His love. Many complain of solitude, yet fail to see what God is building in that quiet season. It is in isolation that He reveals. Because when you are surrounded by noise, opinions, and chatter, you struggle to hear the one voice that matters, His. God does not want you engulfed by people who confuse you. He wants you surrounded by those who strengthen you. And sometimes, to achieve that, you must begin again. You must cleanse your atmosphere, remove what hinders your growth. Because some blessings only come when the environment is right, and some doors only open when certain people leave. So if you are walking through a season that feels quiet and empty, do not complain. Ask God, what do you want to show me this time? It is in that moment that He speaks. It is in that moment He reminds you, even if everyone leaves, He remains. And whoever has Him has everything. Now declare with faith, write in the comments, if they left, it's because they weren't meant for me. That phrase carries liberation. Close the doors you left ajar. Remind your heart, God makes no mistakes when He removes people. He takes away only to give something better. The weight on your soul. You are tired. Deeply, profoundly tired. And I see that it is not just physical exhaustion, it is a burden on your soul. That feeling of always running, always fighting, yet never truly arriving. You lay down, but do not rest. You pray, but your mind remains restless. You pour out for everyone, yet feel unseen when it is you who needs help. God sees this, and He speaks. This is not how you were meant to live. This is not what I prepared for you. True rest does not come from a day off, a vacation, or a full night of sleep. The rest that heals, strengthens, and restores, only I can give you. But for that, you must stop carrying everything alone. You have been trying to be strong for too long. You have pushed yourself too hard. You have blamed yourself for feeling weak. But let me remind you, I never asked you for perfection. I only asked you for the truth. You believe you must handle everything yourself. But who told you that you had to? I am your Father. It is I who holds you. I open doors. I close cycles. I sustain you. You do not need to prove anything to me. You only need to trust. That emptiness you feel in the silence at the end of the day, that is the sign that you need to return to me. Not rushed, not fearfully, but wholeheartedly. Speak to me as you would a friend, because that is who I am. The world demands it, but I welcome it. The world pressures, but I heal. The world burdens me, but I feel relieved. I do not want you to live another day carrying what you should have surrendered to me long ago. So today, let me care for you, not with empty promises, but with my presence, not with immediate answers, but with peace to endure the process. Yes, there will still be difficult days, but the difference is, with my rest, you will be able to endure without losing hope. Your path forward, without losing your way, you will continue forward, unwavering, without getting lost along the way. Now, write in the comments, Lord, I rest in you. Write it with faith. Write it as someone returning home after a long journey. I am searching your heart. I will find you where no one else sees the battle you are facing. Do you know why the struggles intensified just as you decided to start over? Because the enemy does not want you to move forward. He knows that if you keep going, you will break free from everything that held you down for so long. He saw you rise even while wounded. He saw you try again even while afraid. And that troubled him. Now that you are approaching the promise, distractions will increase, pressures will multiply, and even people who never cared will suddenly appear to confuse your steps. But none of it is a coincidence. It is a reaction. The spiritual realm sees you reaching for what is rightfully yours, and it cannot stand it. The truth is this: the more you try to escape what weakens you, the more the enemy will attempt to drag you back in. He will manipulate your emotions, awaken old insecurities, and use words to paralyze you. But this only happens because he knows that this time you are closer to transformation than ever before. Here is the revelation. The attacks have not increased because you are on the wrong path. They have increased because you are finally on the right one. You are moving in the opposite direction of everything that once distanced you from God. And everything that once held power over you knows it is losing control. But listen carefully. You do not have to face this alone. I am with you. And if I am with you, nothing can stop you from moving forward. No matter who rises against you, no accusation holds power over my authority. No threat can stand against my protection. No force can remain where my presence reigns. Now is the time to stand firm, to keep moving, even when emotions waver. Because in the midst of this chaos, the promise is being formed. I did not bring you this far to see you give up. If you have made it this far, write in the comments, I'm not going back. What God started, He will finish. Write it as someone making a commitment, someone taking a step of faith. This declaration has power. Close the door to doubt and make room for confirmation from heaven. Restoration is here. This is more than comfort. Now, as promised, this is the moment of restoration. I have entered your story not to observe, but to act. Today, I begin to restore everything that was unjustly taken from you, the peace that worry stole. I am already rebuilding in your heart. The joy that disappeared without warning will slowly return to your life. I am touching your home, your relationships, your emotions. Everything the enemy tried to stain, destroy, or steal, I am renewing. You cried in the night, believing no one saw. You endured pain, not wanting to burden others. But hear this, every tear was counted. Not one prayer was in vain. No silent request went unnoticed. Now I place upon you a new season, not a season of perfection, but a season of restoration. You will no longer live on the defensive. I will surround you. I will prepare your path ahead and protect your back. I will silence every voice that accused you or diminished you. Those who witnessed your weakness will also witness your recovery. Those who walked away when you needed them most will see that it was in your solitude that I revealed myself in the greatest power. Today, I place the key to restoration in your hands. But do not get distracted. The enemy will still try. He always tries. But now, you are awake. You are strengthened. And more than that, you are accompanied by me. Write in the comments with faith, I receive the restoration that God has prepared for me. That phrase is more than a comment. It is a declaration. It is the proclamation of someone who comes home and says, now I understand. Now I surrender. And when you declare that, the heavens move. Subscribe now, because more revelations are coming, and every time you return, I will be here, waiting to speak with you again. Please like this message if it touched you. It may be the push someone else needs to keep from giving up. Faith, the choice that transforms everything. Son, hearing that faith depends on what you choose to believe may seem simple, but it is what changes everything inside. Things will not always happen as you wish. The path will not always be clear or easy. Many times the road will feel dark, uncertain, and painful. And that is precisely when choosing to hold on to faith makes all the difference. Faith is not about feeling okay all the time. Faith is choosing to trust, even when fear tries to paralyze you. Faith is about continuing to believe, even when the way forward seems impossible. Faith is about searching deep within and clinging to the smallest spark of hope, because that spark is what keeps you from giving up. You may not understand why you are facing so much resistance right now. You may not understand why your dreams feel distant and why answers take so long to come. But hear this. This battle has a purpose. It is shaping you. It is strengthening you, and it is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. And do you know what is the most human thing on this journey? Recognizing that you are not alone. It is not a weakness to admit you need help. It is not wrong to say you are tired. Faith is courage. Faith is honesty. I am by your side every step of the way, ready to hold you up when you stumble, ready to lift you when the ground feels like it's disappearing beneath your feet. Faith is not a single leap. It is a daily choice, a steady step, one after another. And even if you fall, I am here to help you rise again. Because what matters is not the fall, but your will to keep going. So even if the world tells you that you cannot move forward, that you've tried too many times, I tell you this. There is always a new beginning. There is always a tomorrow. filled with another chance. There is always a higher power ready to renew your spirit. Now, once again, write in the comments, "I choose faith, even when all seems lost." Make this declaration with an open heart, because it is a pact of hope. When you declare it, you are telling the universe that you refuse to give up, that you will fight, that you trust in my care. Healing begins with truth. Son, the pain you carry often feels like an unbearable weight, a wound from the past that refuses to heal, a sadness with no apparent reason, a fear that paralyzes you. But hear this, those wounds, no matter how deep, are not the end. They are the beginning. They are the start of your true transformation. I never said the road would be easy, but I promised you this. I will be with you every step of the way. And it is in pain that I want to show you something few ever recognize. The opportunity to grow, to learn, to be reborn. Every scar on your heart holds a purpose, even if you do not fully understand it right now. They exist to remind you of what you've overcome, to strengthen your soul, and to prepare you for even greater blessings. So, do not run from pain. Do not hide what you feel. Face it with courage. Speak to me honestly. Because only when you accept what you carry inside can you begin to free yourself. Only when you acknowledge the wound can you begin to heal. And I will be with you in that process. I will hold your hand when sadness intrudes. I will give you strength when all seems lost. I will prove to you that even the most difficult moments can be used to build a future filled with hope. You do not have to carry everything alone. I will carry it with you. And when you place that burden into my hands, you will feel a relief that cannot be explained, a peace that surpasses all suffering. Write in the comments, "I place my pain in God's hands and trust in His healing." Write it as someone opening the door to freedom, to renewal. Because when you say it with faith, you take a real step toward transforming your life. The signs are everywhere, but are you watching? Many go through life without noticing the signs I leave along the way, too caught up in worries, problems, the noise of daily life. But I tell you this, you must slow down. You must open your heart, because my signs are in front of you, even when they appear subtly. They are not always grand miracles or spectacular moments. Sometimes they are small details, a word that touches your soul, a door that closes so another can open, an unexpected encounter. That silent peace that arrives in the midst of a storm. I use all these moments to guide you, to remind you that you are never alone, and to reveal that every choice, every step, carries a greater purpose. But to recognize them, you must be attentive. You must cultivate inner silence. Because when your heart is restless and your mind is clouded, it becomes difficult to hear my voice, a voice filled with gentle, unshakable love. So I invite you today. Set aside a sacred moment to meet with me. Listen to what I want to reveal to you. It can be in the morning, at night, or even amidst your daily responsibilities. That moment is holy. It is where you reconnect with truth. I know life does not pause. I know there are many responsibilities. But when you create space for me, something shifts inside you. A force appears, not from this world. A hope that does not fade, even in trials. And that is when you will begin to realize, I am always sending you signs. Signs to strengthen you, to protect you, to remind you that the path is safe when you walk with me. Do not blame yourself for not seeing them sooner. Do not criticize yourself for not listening before. Today is your opportunity to open your heart again, to trust that even when my signs are silent, they exist and they are meant for you. Write in the comments, I choose to listen to God's signs in my life. Declare this as a promise, a commitment to stay attentive to my presence in every moment. Faith is not a sprint. It is a process. Before we end, I want you to keep this deep in your heart. Faith is not a quick sprint. It is a delicate process, a daily construction, where each step, no matter how small, holds immense value. Do not be discouraged when things don't happen the way you expect or at the speed you desire. True transformation takes time, and I am with you in every moment of the journey. Learn to treasure the simple moments. Silence the noise of the world. Listen for the soft voice calling your name. That is where the encounter happens. That is where the soul finds rest. That is where hope is reborn. No matter the depth of difficulty or the strength of the storm, my presence is greater, and it will be the foundation that sustains all your days. It is not a weakness to ask for help. It is not defeat to allow yourself to be cared for. On the contrary, recognizing your vulnerability is an act of courage and wisdom. So open your heart, release the burdens you carry, and trust I will take care of everything, even when doubt creeps in. Keep walking forward, with the certainty that you are being guided by a love that never fails. Feel this presence as a divine embrace, one that strengthens and propels you forward. And when doubts rise, return to these words. Return to this space where you will always find the strength you need. May peace and faith guide your steps. May the peace that surpasses all understanding be with you. May hope always be the light that illuminates your path. And may faith keep you strong, even in times of uncertainty. Thank you for being here, for trusting, for opening your heart. Keep walking this journey, for together we will uncover the deeper secrets to living a life of meaning, joy, and purpose. May you find happiness in what you already have, cherishing every blessing, every lesson, and every day given to you. Let us pray together. Beloved Father, Creator of heaven and earth, I come to you now with an open heart, filled with hope. I acknowledge your greatness and your infinite love, even when my own weakness makes me doubt. Thank you for life, for every breath that sustains me, for the silent care that surrounds me, even when I fail to notice it. Lord, I ask that you teach me to truly trust, to surrender into your hands everything that burdens my heart, my doubts, fears, anxieties, and sadness that refuse to let go. Help me recognize that I am not strong on my own, but that in you I find renewed strength every morning. I long to hear your gentle voice above the noise of the world, to feel your presence even when silence unnerves me. Help me recognize the signs you place before me and to continue in faith, even when I do not understand the road ahead. Father, strengthen my soul so that I do not give up in the face of challenges. Grant me the courage to face difficulties without losing hope. May I not be overcome by exhaustion or disappointment, but may I rise as many times as needed, knowing that you are with me to uphold me. Lord, help me cultivate gratitude for everything I have, even the smallest gifts that often go unnoticed. May I learn to value each moment, each smile, each new beginning. Let my happiness not depend on what I lack, but on the peace I find in you, the certainty that I am loved and cared for. Cover every heart with your peace. I ask, Father, that you guard the heart of every person who reads, hears, or receives these words. May your peace, which surpasses all understanding, flood their lives. May faith be reborn and strengthened in every weary soul. May true love transform every wound into healing. Lord, I trust in you. I trust that even when answers delay, you are working for my good. I trust that even when the path feels dark, you are the light guiding my steps. I trust that even on the longest nights, you are preparing a dawn full of hope. Spirit of God, transform me. Finally, I ask that your Holy Spirit envelop and transform me, that I may be an instrument of peace, love, and kindness, that your name may be glorified in all I do, that I may live with joy, with gratitude, and a heart always open to hear your voice. Amen.